Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here with Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering, is James Harden a top 5 shooting guard of all time? And where does he come in on the top 5 list of shooting guards? To be honest with you, a lot of people debated when I put this on social media, and I put the question out there, is James Harden a top 5 shooting guard? I got so many different responses from he's not a shooting guard, he's a point guard. And a lot of people were using different comparisons. They compared Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was not a point guard. Allen Iverson was a shooting guard. When you think about everything he did, Aaron McKie was a point guard. Eric Snow was a point guard. Allen Iverson was a shooting guard. People compared Magic, and they talked about how Magic, with his situation, Magic Johnson had guards around him. Byron Scott was not a point guard. Byron Scott was playing with inside the Showtime offense, and essentially Magic controlled the offense. He controlled where the ball went. He controlled where Kareem went. He controlled the plays, left and right, passes, dump-offs. Magic had the ball in hand a lot of times. Magic was a true point guard. Even though they had different guards on the team that some play points, some didn't, Magic was a point guard. Sorry, he could be 6'9" all he wants to. He's still a point guard. His vision, his prowess, the way that he was able to pass and things like this, he wasn't a great shooter at first. He had to rely on his pass. He had to rely on the athleticism. He had to rely on a lot of things. But being 6'9", being able to see over mostly everybody, he did what he did. So with that being said, is James Harden a shooting guard or a point guard? James Harden was every bit of a shooting guard. Think of him in college. Think of him in OKC. He came off the bench as a shooting guard, not as a point. Now, he played point at times. He carried the ball. But just keep in mind, he played with Chris Paul. The man averaged 40 points for 40 games. I don't think we'll ever see that in this day and time at this point because it's hard to do. But James Harden gave you 40 and 40, if we're being honest. Now, from the standpoint, James Harden is a top 5 shooting guard of all time. The question is, where does he go on the top 5 list? Well, we're starting out the list, and I'm going 1 through 5. Or I'll go 5 to 1. Coming in at number 5. A lot of times people don't give him credit because he won a couple of rings with the big 3. Sometimes people talk about, his lack of availability and the career wasn't as long as others. That'll be considered. But this man gave it all to the NBA. Thinking about one Chi-Town son, Dwayne Wade, Dade County. Not only was he remarkable with the way he played the game of basketball, but he did what he did, scored the points, was a monster on defense when he needed to slow people down. And that epic game against Dallas, where he turned the series around when they had Shaquille O'Neal, Gary Payton and company, and Alonzo Mourning. That's what put him on the map, that first NBA title. And the way that he carried himself with the big 3, the way that he helped them close on championships as well, that was impressive. Coming in at number 4. This guy doesn't get as much respect as he should, but he helped change the game with the follow-through foul, with the continuation. The NBA actually changed the rules so you can get to the foul line because of this guy. The ability to put the ball in the court, the step back 3, the high post pick and roll where he's cooking at behind the 3-point line. You're talking about one James Harden. Yes, James Harden comes before Dwayne Wade. The MVP, the averaging 40 and 40 games, the way he was able to put together the stat sheet where he can give you 40, give you 10 assists, and also give you a couple rebounds as well. The way that he was able to essentially help Houston get to the conference finals, essentially. The way that he was able to do it in the West and be able to still be pivotal and still have a chance to do great things. That was James Harden. Coming in number 3, the little warrior, you know him, Big Chuck, you know what I'm saying, Philadelphia 76ers. Allen Iverson, the heart of a champion. Not only was he a scorer, not only was he a blur, a help defender, guru, a thief whenever you essentially let the ball sit out there too long. And this is why a lot of people getting confused because Eric Snow and Aaron McKie were playing point. But essentially, Allen Iverson held the ball in his hands because he was the only guy on the team that could score, really, that can create his own shot. How are you a point guard and you can't create for your teammates? Eric Snow and company? Y'all remember them games against the Lakers? It was Allen Iverson versus 5 people. Coming in at number 2 was Big Kobe. You know what Kobe did. Championships with Shaq, championships with Paul Gasol. The legacy, the greatness, what he was able to do. He was mimicking Michael Jordan, hitting every patented move. the step back, the fade away, the tongue out, the dunks, the layups, the up and under with the English. Kobe was all over the place. And you got number one, his airness, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan not only changed the game of basketball, you know what he did off the court with the shoes. When he got on the court, he was a wizard as well. He was the guy that was making the ball go up and down. He was making it disappear. He was shooting it, dunking it. He was having the Space Jam movies with it. And he essentially changed the culture of the NBA and made the Bulls a dynasty. So, get in the comment section. Do you feel like James Harden is in the top 5 for shooting guards? And do you feel like he's on the top 5 list? If he is on the list, give me your top 5 in the comment section. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus, and I will see you on the very next episode.